So once again, this is Eric Reed with FAAST, Florida's Assistive Technology Program. I'm joined by Allison Yates from SELF, the Solar Energy Loan Fund, and we will be talking about ways to find home modification funding for your needs, which will include the new partnership between FAAST and SELF. Okay, so we'll be going through a few things today. We'll be talking about FAAST and some of the services that we provide. We'll talk about our specific financial loan program. We'll talk about where you can find resources for home modification funding. And then we'll turn it over to Allison and we'll learn some more about the SELF program, what all of that they do, and then some specifics on how to apply to our new FAAST SELF Halo loan program. At any time, if people do have questions, you can use the chat box and just let us know what you need to know. So we'll start off a little bit background on FAAST. FAAST is the state's assistive technology program. Every state and every territory does have an assistive technology program similar to ours. We were created by the Assistive Technology Act in 2004, and we are governed under Florida statute 413-407. We are a program of Division of Vocational Rehab, and we receive funding from both federal funds through ACL and then through Vocational Rehab and Department of Education. Our mission is to improve the quality of life for all Floridians with disabilities through advocacy and awareness activities that increase access to and acquisition of assistive services and technology. So what that means is that we are here to serve all Floridians with disabilities, all ages, anything that we can do to help them with assistive technology needs, we are here for them. We do that through a few core services. We do information and assistance. We do device demonstrations, we do trainings, we have device loan programs throughout the state and also here at our state headquarters. We do a lot of public awareness and public policy work. We go through attend a lot of conventions, we attend a lot of areas and places where we're able to provide information and teach people and organizations about assistive technology and specifically about what FAAST does. We also have a reuse program, reutilization services, and those happen at our regional reuse centers. So we do have 11 centers, 10 locations, in addition to our state headquarters across the state where you can go for our core services. We are at the Pensacola Center for Independent Living. They actually house our regional demonstration center and also one of our reuse centers. Tallahassee, our Tallahassee Regional Demonstration Center is at Family Cafe. Our Jacksonville Regional Demonstration Center is at Hope Haven. And we're also at University of Central Florida and University of Miami and at Tampa General Rehabilitation Hospital for our demonstration centers. Our reuse centers are all located at Centers for Independent Living. They are in Pensacola, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, Largo, and Fort Myers. And while we're only located in those specific cities, each center is assigned a certain number of counties, so every county in the state is served by those centers. One other core service that we provide is our New Horizon loan program, and we'll get more into detail about that today on this call. If you do have any questions about any of our other core services or how to get information on device demonstrations or trainings or take advantage of our device loan program, please give us a call or go to our website, and that contact information will be on a slide at the end of the training session. So our New Horizon loan program is also enabled through the Assistive Technology Act of 2004. We were funded back at the beginning of the 2000s through both state and federal funds. It is refunded occasionally through federal grant funding that we have to apply for. And we offer financial loans for all people with disabilities in Florida that do qualify through our financial credit criteria. We do work to give loans to as many people with disabilities as we possibly can. Because it is not recurring funding, we do have credit criteria, but we try to be as lenient as we can and make the program as accessible as we can make it. One part of that program is home modification funding. Assistive technology can be anything that helps somebody with a disability gain independence, and we can provide a financial loan for anything that would fit into that category. So that can be anything from vehicle modifications to seat lifts on a wheelchair, to recreational track chairs and beach wheelchairs and hand cycles, vision aids, hearing aids, anything that somebody needs to help them with greater independence with their disability is considered assistive technology, and our financial loan program can help with that. Home modifications are also considered assistive technology. So whether you need a ramp built outside of your home, or you need a bathroom widened, doorways widened, a roll-in shower, kitchen modifications, you want to make your home more automated for easier use of appliances and communication, any of those things can be considered home modifications and are a part of our loan program. So this slide here is just talking a little bit more about home modification funding. There's various sources of funding that might be available to you in addition to our loan program. There might be grants, there could be government benefits and financial loan programs depending on what benefit services you receive. And some of the things to ask yourself to determine which program might be the best for you is to figure out what the qualifications are for a particular program. Vocational rehab does provide some home modifications through their program. Of course, that is a employment-based service. So if you are not seeking employment, then vocational rehab would not be a source for you. So always look at what some of the basic qualifications are before applying for a program. What type of insurance or benefits you might have. There are waivers through the state Medicare, Medicaid programs that provide home modification funding as well. So double check that. Private insurance is probably going to be a little more difficult. There might be some home modification needs that might be also considered durable medical equipment that you might be able to argue with an insurance company for. Something like a rail system could be determined as a home modification and DME, and you might be able to find some insurance funding for that. Hoyer lifts, that type of thing. You could find some help with that. Whether the modifications are for employment reasons goes back to the vocational rehab question. Your urgency to have the modifications complete could also determine what type of program you want to depend on. If you have an immediate urgency for something to be done, and you know that a county-wide resource won't be refunded for another 6 months when they receive some federal funding for their modification program, that might be too long for you to wait. So you may want to go to a bank or to our FAAST partnership program to make things quicker and get your modifications done immediately. Where you live, what type of home you live in is also a question to ask. Some of the county and city funding resources, the USDA has a program for urban and rural areas, but some of those are based on where you live, whether you're in city limits or county limits, whether you are in a mobile home or in a other single family home structure. So there might be some qualifications that you need to meet before you can apply for those. And so learning what those basic qualifications are is helpful. And then also whether or not you own or rent your home. Again, all programs probably will ask you that. And if you are a renter, there might be some additional documentation or some additional things you may need to do with your landlord to be able to qualify for any of those programs. So this slide talks a lot about what I just mentioned. A few things on here that I didn't mention in the previous slide. Department of Veterans Affairs, if you are a veteran, they do have home modification resources through some of their programs. There are other nonprofit organizations that oftentimes have home modification funding, usually pretty basic, maybe just ramps for the outside of your home, grab bars in the bathroom, that type of thing. But certainly call your local Center for Independent Living and see if they have any resources available. Churches are also another resource. There's oftentimes that churches do ramp builds and other basic home modifications. So it's certainly a good idea to check with either your own place of worship or just other churches in your area that have those programs available to the public to use. Able United is a savings program that allows people to save money for their disability needs, and that includes the purchase of assistive technology and would include home modifications as well. So the purpose of Able United is to allow people to save that might not have been able to save before because of asset limitations on their benefit. So if you're on SSI, if you have asset limitations on your monthly income benefits, then Able United allows you to save money. It allows you to receive gifts from family members and friends to deposit into your Able account and save that money up without any negative impact to your asset count when you have to turn that in on a monthly basis. So that is a great way to save money up. And then when you have the funding for your home modifications, you can use the savings that you've accrued, and nothing impacts your ongoing benefits for that. And then banks and credit unions, of course, are another resource for any type of home modification. Based on what type of modification you need, it could be a home equity line or a home equity loan, which would put a second mortgage, second lien on your home. So there's other things to look at when you are taking that into consideration. When or why a loan? We've talked about some of this, but some other reasons you've asked yourself all the questions on the slide a couple before and realize that you don't qualify for the benefits of some of the programs that are out there. And really the only way that there will be funding for you will be through a loan. The insurance benefits aren't going to cover it. You have a time crunch. You really want this done now. Yes, there might be funding, but it's going to be months in the future. And these modifications are going to be a big benefit to you and really make a difference in your independence. And that is what's more important to you right now. It also could be less expensive than other alternatives. Our interest rate that we've worked with on our situation with Self is a great interest rate that might even be cheaper than some banks, especially if it were a non-home equity line type situation. We do have fixed rates, so that also helps as rates may change in other alternatives. We're also a pretty easy to use program. Both of our programs, both FAAST and Self, we are there for you. We're complete consumer-driven organization, nonprofits that are there just to help and to make your life as easy as we can. So it's a pretty easy process and not as cumbersome as some of the other services that you might want to go through. Also, limited cash resources could be an issue for some other loan programs where down payments are necessary, that type of thing. So we're a good resource for that. And loans in general can also provide that when limited cash resources are there. Just some examples of home modifications. You can see it's a wide range of things that we would consider home modifications, from basic ramps on the outside of a home to full kitchen remodels with accessible countertops that allow wheelchair users to get underneath the sink, get underneath counters for safe food prep and everything else. There's a lift system taking somebody from their bed directly into the bathroom. So those ceiling lift systems can certainly be used through the loan program. Full bathroom modifications to remove any barriers and allow safe use of all of your bathroom facilities, and just access to different levels of your home. Stair lifts going up the stairs, elevator systems for outside of your home. Whatever the case may be, all of those are examples of home modifications. One big thing to keep in mind with home modifications, and Allison will go into a little bit more about their program for this, but your contractor obviously is going to be a huge part of your home modification. Basic ramps going through other nonprofits might not really include that, where just volunteers out building a ramp for the day, something like that. But for the larger jobs, you will have to have a contractor, and you want to make sure that you have a contractor that knows what they're doing. There is a certification for contractors called the Certified Aging in Place certification, and so that is directly dealing with home accessibility and allowing people to stay in their home, to age in place and to live in place. So definitely you want to look into that. Ask your contractor if they are CAP certified, and we can also provide you with some other lists of where to find those CAP certified contractors. You certainly want to ask for recommendations from grant programs that you might not qualify for. If you reach out to your county or your city and they don't have funding right now, or you talk with Voc Rehab and you don't quite qualify for what they may have to offer, certainly ask them who they would use and find out what contractors are doing the work for them, because they certainly would have the experience for the home modifications that you would be looking for. Multiple quotes are always a very good idea to get, and references from the contractor that you want to hire. Specifically references that they can point to that show they have experience with some of the home modifications that you are interested in. And now I'm going to turn everything over to Allison, and she's going to let you guys know a little bit more about the great programs itself, and then how you can apply for funding through our program. I will take one. I did forget the slide that shows our screen from the FAAST side. If you do go to our website, there is the link that will take you straight to the self-application process. So Allison, I am changing over to you.
Thank you, Eric. Going to get that up on our screen here in just a second. All right. Okay, hello everybody. My name is Allison Yates, and I am the Operations and Underwriting Manager here at SELF. And I do apologize if you hear any background noises, a dog whining or something, because I am in my home. We are working, the whole staff is actually working from home right now. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get started with just a little background of what we do here at SELF. We began in 2009, and actually I've been with the program since we opened the doors in 2011. So I've been here a while, and I've gone through all the fun part of growing an organization and starting with basically one computer and one printer. So it's been a while. Anyway, so I wanted to go quickly into just how we started. I'm located in St. Lucie County in Florida, which is on the East Coast here. We're also known as part of the Treasure Coast. So yes, we are pretty close to beaches, which is very nice. We became an independent nonprofit 501c3 in 2010, and we actually opened our doors in the spring of 2011. And we began just in St. Lucie County, and as of right now, we've expanded into 90 cities and counties in Florida. So we've done quite a lot of work. Our mission is to rebuild and empower and serve communities by providing access to affordable and innovative financing for sustainable home improvement projects. And there's everything we do. And we also recently, with FAAST, added the disability products. So we'll go into that in just a second. We want to make sure that our clients understand that we do offer favorable financing. We do have lower interest rates than your typical bank. Our interest rates range from, on a regular loan, from 5% up to 11%. So they are fixed. These are unsecured loans. We do have a bit of a, not a long process, but we do actually work with clients, credit scores, we don't even really pay attention to that much. So, and I'll go into a little bit more on that. One of the things we want to make sure we do with our contractors, we have a very large contractor base throughout the state of Florida. We're close to about 400 different contracting companies that do the work. We obviously finance the improvements, but we work very closely with these contractors on project management. We make sure work gets done. We make sure that contractors don't get paid until the work gets done and is inspected. So this is one of the essential parts of our products here. Okay. Different types of improvements that we offer. Energy efficiency types, of course, we have high efficiency ACs, LED lights. We install renewable energy products, solar PV, solar water heaters, roofs, doors, sprinkler systems. We cover most everything as far as home improvements. A few things that we don't cover, of course, your dishwashers, your washer and dryers, things that are more appliance related. We did recently, fairly recently, within the last couple of years, open up the septic to sewer conversions. So this is one of the things that we're working with now for our communities. And of course, we want to go into specifically for this webinar is the disability modifications, aging in place products. We're going to talk a little bit about the HALO loan in just a second. And we do offer miscellaneous or also what's called ancillary products that may not be on our product list. However, if it's 20% of the total project cost, we may throw in, if a client is let's say they're financing a roof and they need a fence repaired or they need a fence put up. If it's 20% of the total project cost, we may approve that as long as it's something that would benefit the homeowner. Okay. Different types of lending programs that we provide for CDFI is, who we are. We are a community development financial institution, and we are certified. So that actually was the very, very beginning. We work with Kiva.org. Hopefully everyone has heard of Kiva.org. It's a pretty amazing organization that's a crowdfunding platform, and we are a field partner for Kiva. We do offer, I think best way to describe Kiva is it's worldwide. You have millions of folks who go on to Kiva. They want to help somebody, and they lend in $25 increments. So I highly recommend everybody take a look at Kiva.org. It's pretty amazing. And we do offer that for our veterans and women clients. Of course, HALO loan stands for Home Adaptation Loan Options. This is for homeowners with disabilities, including the assistive technologies aging in place with fast interest buy down, which is why we're here. The other type of program we offer is the water quality loans. This is what I talked about with the water hookup, sewer loans, septic to sewer conversions. This is just starting off, so I'm really excited about where we're going to go with that. And then of course we have our PACE program, which stands for Property Assessed Clean Energy. And this is only in St. Lucie County for right now. This is a program, we have one manager who runs this program within our organization, and it's been successful so far. So if you're in St. Lucie County, check that out. That's more based on your property, the property assessment. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about our partnership with FAAST. Now FAAST has opened up $300,000 for us to utilize for our disabled homeowners. And we began working with FAAST a couple years ago, and then we had to, there were some revisions that happened and whatnot, and we are now very excited to get this moving again. We want to definitely open this up in the state of Florida. FAAST is offering a 2% interest buy down for qualifying loans. Our interest rate, our fixed interest rate for clients who are going to go through the FAAST interest buy down, which is our HALO loan, it's 5.5%. So I think that's pretty good. Currently, our existing portfolio contains about 56% of elderly folks, and 11% of them are disabled. So the more marketing we do, the more we're going to be able to reach out to the community who actually need the in-home assistive technology. Now, again, HALO stands for Home Adaptation Loan Options. Now you'll see there it ranges from 5.5% to 8%. Some of the products that we actually will offer clients may not be qualified for the 2% interest buy down. So we would fund those particular projects, such as a roof, maybe an AC unit. Here in Florida, we actually our elderly clients, disabled clients, they need air conditioner. It's hot. It's hot in other places too, but it's one of those things itself that we do feel is a necessity. So we may offer that as part of our HALO loan, but it doesn't necessarily qualify for the 2% interest buy down. And we do have a list of specifics that we will that would go through our HALO loan with the FAAST 2% interest buy down. So I'm going to go into a little bit about how our loan process works, and I don't believe that's going to be on the next slide. It might be. That's our lending footprint. That's okay. We'll go through it here. So on the FAAST website, they do have an option for financing, and we do. There is a direct link to our online application. Now, within our online application, there is a question that will come up on the first page as you're filling in your information. And the question is asking if you are applying for assistive technologies. So you want to make sure to say yes to that, because that's one of the ways we're going to identify our folks who are wanting to come through the program for this particular interest buy down option. So the way that the loan application and our underwriting works is once you apply with our program, we have a loan officer who's going to reach out to you, and they're going to speak to you about what your needs are, what type of products you want installed in your home, how we can help, and so forth and so on. Once we get through, now you will need to provide, just like any typical lending organization, you are going to need to provide proof of income. We do require that, driver's license, or your current identification, things that are required in your typical application process. We do have an underwriting process. And one of the things that we want to make sure of when we're doing our underwriting is our main focus is if you can repay a loan. Do you have enough disposable income to be able to repay the loan? We don't look at your credit score. We're not going to turn anyone away who has a 450 credit score or a 560 credit score. A lot of times going through your traditional bank, they won't even blink an eye if you're trying to get a personal loan and your credit score doesn't exceed 680 or 720 or whatnot. What we look at is your history. We will look at a payment history. We may require a co-signer if it's something that, you know, maybe it's a little high risk. But your loan officers in your underwriting department, we will work with you. We will talk with you, you know, and get more information. We are mission driven, so we understand that, you know, credit history, sometimes you take a hit, sometimes there's a bankruptcy, sometimes there is, you know, you had to work out a payment plan with a creditor, and maybe there's medical bills. We see this a lot. Student loans and collections, we see this a lot, and that's okay. So again, our main concern is the fact that you do have the disposable income, you can repay the loan, and you know, we will do our absolute best to work with everyone. Excuse me, my throat's getting a little froggy. Once we have an approval, we do have an internal, what's called an internal credit committee, and this does go pretty quickly. So once the application is received, our underwriting department does move within 24 hours and 48 hours, of course, during business hours, just so everyone understands. We move them quickly. We get a decision as quickly as possible. And then what's going to happen is your loan officer is going to reach out to you and with your approval terms, or if we need more information. We do work with, like I said, over 400, close to 400 contractors throughout the state of Florida. And one of the things that Erica talked about was the CAP certification, the Certified Aging in Place certification. We do have a few contractors. We're ramping up that contractor list who are specialized in this area. If you have a contractor who is who you require or recommend, or you're requesting, maybe you reached out to get quotes ahead of time, please let us know. We are happy to add contractors to our list. They would have to complete the contractor application, which is also located on our website. And I believe that link is, or that website is at the end of my personal presentation. And our loan officers will go through the contractor application. They do have to provide their certification documents. We vet the contractors. We make sure we do research. We go online. We go to Angie's List. We go to Better Business Bureau. We make sure that all of their certifications are current. So if they, you know, their general liability, they have to have workers' comp. They have to have state licenses that are current, and we need to make sure that they have a good reputation. So this is all part of our project management process in the organization. So once you're approved, once the contractor is chosen, we close the loan based on the quote. So this is how everything is determined as far as what your loan amount is. Again, your loan total is going to depend on what you can afford as part of the underwriting process. And again, like I said, the interest rate is 5.5%. So and I believe our term is up to 7 years. So in those specifics, we would work out with you. As far as the loan closing, once loan is closed, then we do what's called a notice to proceed to our contractors. And the short version of that is an NTP. Contractor will then contact you. They'll begin the work. They'll schedule it, order the materials, whatever they need to do. They do not get paid at all until the work is done. So this is a pretty cool feature that we offer. This works actually very well for our contractors and our clients because, you know, they're a little more apt to get the job done completely and inspected, because that's when they're going to get paid. We also reach out to our clients and say, hey, are you happy? Are you happy with the improvements? Are you, you know, is there anything else you need? You know, once it's inspected, did they leave a mess? I mean, things like this is what we want to follow up with and make sure that our contractors are doing what they should be doing. So, and then first payment due date comes up and you start paying your loan back to us. So you don't have any, you know, it's not a personal loan. You don't get it in pocket. You don't have to worry about chasing the contractor down. You don't have to worry about paying them. This is something that we handle on your behalf. you pay the loan back in the term that that has been set for you. So that's pretty much in a nutshell how the application and loan process works. Now the slide that you're looking at is what is the CDFI. This is just information about who we are and what our reporting requirements are as a CDFI. And let's see what we have next. Okay, the rest of these slides are more informational if you want to go back and review. We do raise funds for our organization in order to gain loan capital, to be able to lend out to everyone. And these are the different organizations that we have gained capital from. Again, more information on our capital funders. If you notice our faith-based organizations, one of our largest part of the pie there. I talked a little bit about kiva.org, so everyone definitely check that out. And these are the results of our organization to date. We financed over 1,300 projects, totaling about $12 million. The page we like to brag about, our awards and recognition. Okay, and there we are. Here I am at the bottom. And there is our link to our website. Please, reach out to us, give us a call, ask questions. We do have a contact page on our website. You can apply directly through our website, even if it's not, regardless of what you're looking for, check it out. And I think that is about it, unless anybody has any questions. I'm going to turn this back over to Eric if he wants to steal the screen back from me.
Thank you, Allison.
You're welcome. Thank you, everyone.
And I'm going to advance real quick just so you'll have the FAAST contact info as well. There's a quick shot of that. And so we hope you guys enjoyed this today and got some great information from both Allison and myself. And please reach out to FAAST and SELF for anything that you need, assistive technology-wise, home renovation-wise, energy efficiency-wise, any of our services, please contact us. One thing that neither one of us mentioned was credit building and the importance of good credit education. We both can also assist with that. So please reach out to us for any credit building needs that you have as well. Allison, do you have any final words?
Well, on that note, the credit building, yes, thank you for mentioning that. We do have tools that will help with credit building, so definitely reach out to us for those. Sometimes as part of our approval process, we may require a little credit course. It's quick and easy and gives you great information. It is part of our mission, and a lot of our funders do like to see that we are promoting positive credit building also. So thank you for mentioning that, Eric. That's about all I have. I do appreciate this. Perfect.
Well, if there aren't any other questions, then we will end this training session. And again, reach out to FAAST and SELF for any home modification or any other needs that you have that we can help with. Thank you, Allison.
Thank you.